So I want to talk about being my own advocate. I have really been on this journey of self-love and allowing myself and seeing all of my value. And I was having this conversation yesterday at the hot springs with a couple of men that were there, and really when we were talking about it, and yesterday the video that I did about self-love. And I've really been thinking about this self love thing and being my own advocate. Like, I know myself better than anybody else knows myself. Anybody else. I was sitting around and waiting for somebody else to be my advocate and hoping that they see all the spots. See, in society, we're taught out of um, speaking well of ourselves because it comes off as self centered, it comes off as being a show off. There's so many, remember when we were kids, if we did something really good or we said something really good about ourselves, then we were not being, there's also something in religion is about being modest. Don't be proud, lose your pride. But I say just the opposite. We're creations of God. We are part of God. God created us, each of us perfect and as we are. And to deny that and to think of ourselves as anything but divine is actually turning our back on God. And besides, if we don't know who we are and we are not able to tell the world who we are and what our good points are, then nobody else will. Everybody else is stuck in their own mind, worrying about their own things and worrying about their own self worth. I want to say 99% of humanity is because we are out of whack with nature. We are out of whack with our natural way of being. Society nowadays was built up. We are like at the top of this pyramid, or if you want to say at the bottom of this pyramid, where everything has gotten so out of whack with nature. We are the only animal that is completely separated from nature. That's why we are ruining nature for other animals. We live in these boxes. Think about it. We live in boxes in the air that are completely separated from the earth. All of the other animals, if left to be in nature, either would survive or not survive. The domesticated ones, the ones that we took and domesticated them and changed their evolution. Maybe an evolution in nature, they wouldn't exist or they would exist differently. But us as humans, we're completely disconnected from our surroundings. We go potty and we don't even know where that potty goes. We are so disconnected from it, from the food that we eat. We eat food and it goes through us and comes out the other side. And it's supposed to go back into the cycle of life. Everything that this morning when I was eating, I was, saying my own prayer for, the divinity, thanking, I woke up this morning just in this immense appreciation for my life, for me, for all of my qualities, for everything. And I got that book out yesterday. I'm so excited about it. And so I still haven't marketed it, but I trust the universe that book will find whoever needs to find it, and whoever needs that knowledge will find it. I will put some effort forward in marketing, but I'm going to put, I don't know exactly what I'm going to do yet with it, but we'll see. Maybe I'll do marketing inside of Amazon. Maybe I'll do some Facebook, just put it on my Facebook page and maybe in some groups where I see that there are people that are struggling with alcohol, because I really do think that what is in there, it's coming from an alcoholic to alcoholics. So, when I wrote that was 7 years ago, I was coming right out of my alcoholism and it was all very fresh in my mind. But I really do see this talking about my own self-worth, being my own advocate, telling it like it is. And that is self-love. And that is also a practice of self-love. It's practical self-love. And it's something that is the most difficult for us sometimes to do, to even see our worth, first of all, because we're so taught into, from school, we're brought into elementary school and we're given, and we're taught this much knowledge when there's this much infinity knowledge in the world. And we're taught this much knowledge that does or does not suit our own abilities and capabilities and the person that we are. They teach very analytical. So all of the artists, first of all, that's like 50%. All of the people with creative, artistic minds. I'm not saying, nothing that I say is absolute. I understand that there are a lot of different school systems, but overall, kids are brought into school systems to be taught how to be worker ants, and disconnected from nature. And it's enough that you take a 6-year-old and sit them in a classroom and tell them sit. By nature, 6-year-olds want to move. They want to discover. They want to go out. They want to uh, pick up rocks and look underneath. They want to run down the stream. They want to climb trees. They have a lot of energy in them, and you take them and it's like you retard their growth. And by nature, you see the other animals learn through play, learn through following their parents around and being with the tribe. And they learn through their instincts. They're naturally allowed to learn the world, through touching the world, through experiencing the world. And we take our kids and we put them in school and we sit them on a chair. And when they're 6 years old and they want to go, and if they can't concentrate, we stick a pill down their throat so that they'll be like zombies. I've seen it with my own kids, and myself. When I was in school, all I wanted to do was daydream out the window. A lot of the times, I just couldn't get what they were saying because I couldn't focus on it, because I was just like sitting there pulling teeth. And I know that and then you come out of school feeling like you're dumb because you didn't get it. Other people got really good grades. You're supposed to strive after these grades, which I didn't care much for grades, but there was this social embarrassment that my grades were always, not always, until I went and wanted to learn something. And then I learned something that I really wanted to learn. And then I excelled. And then my grades were like super high. That was in college. But before college, I dropped out. I dropped out of high school. I didn't give a crap about the grades, except for that I was embarrassed if I got bad grades, because that like was showing that I'm dumb or something, which I'm not. And now I can say it. See, I'm being my own advocate. I'm not dumb. Actually, I'm a sort of genius. And I think that is part of the reason why I couldn't sit in the classroom, because my kind of genius didn't get any kind of appreciation in a standard regular classroom. How can you take something that is so round, like my kind of thinking is like a processing, and I'm able to take. So yesterday when we were sitting at this, I'm going to get back to being my own advocate. Yesterday, and why it's okay to be our own advocate, and why we should be our own advocate. Being our own advocate is self-love. It's saying, yeah, these are my superpowers, and I'm standing up and I'm holding on to them and I'm putting them out there into the world. And this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm good at, and I'm good at this. And you tell the world who you are. Don't let the world tell you who you are. You know who you are, because you know yourself intimately. If you've been doing self-work, then you know yourself hopefully intimately. Or at least that should be part of what we are aiming for. And so I was telling them that, I have a talent. And one of my biggest talents, I have a lot of talents. And one of my biggest talents is that I'm able to take concepts and bring them into words that are understandable. So I'm able to take very complex concepts, and it's kind of like coming out of yourself. It's like being, where's my coffee cup? I'll just get a new one. I probably put it in there it is. So it's kind of like I am able to go through what I'm going through and be the observer of it at the same time. It's kind of like getting out of your ego. When you go through so much, and when you get a little bit older, you don't care what people think anymore. All that matters is what the internal experience is. I ran out of spoons, so I'm using this spoon to make coffee. I have a sink full of dishes. It's amazing how quickly the dishes get piled up. But like I said in a previous video, in this house, I brought so few dishes that really I'm at the maximum. Like the maximum amount of dirty dishes that can't, well, maybe not. I have more dishes in the cupboards, but I have very few dishes in this house. That's why they run out, and then you have to do the dishes, and that makes my life so much simpler, because I used to have like tons and tons, and then I would have a massive pile of dishes. Because the kids will just keep pulling them out of the closet as long as they're in the closet instead of doing them. And they'll just keep doing it. Yesterday, I told my boys they each had to do 15 pieces of dishes each. And it made a dent. It didn't make a massive dent. A lot of times they'll choose like silverware. But I told them not only silverware, it has to be big things so that it takes the mass down. And they did pretty good. I'm proud of them. They're so handsome and tall and getting so big and independent and self-thinkers and funny. My youngest son, he has such a sense of humor on him, but he's all day long on the computer, all day long. So it's just a little extra. Oh, Aviad I'm talking about him and he sent me a message. I wonder what. He's going on a school trip today, and I hope that everything is okay, because he sent me a exclamation point. Another one's coming in. Another exclamation point. So anyway, talking about being my own advocate, because yesterday I started talking about the red string on one of my videos, and I said that I'm doing an advertisement for my own self, and then I said, well, why not? Why not do an advertisement for myself? And I realized that we have been programmed by religion, by school, not to be proud. Being proud is considered bad. You're not supposed to show off. You're not supposed to say, but I think that is false. And it doesn't have to, there's a way of telling the truth and saying like it is, or being conceited and showing off. I think that knowing yourself and knowing your own knowing who you are and what you are, just I want to see what he's writing. I can look in the computer. He is missing his permission slip, but it's in his bag. I put it in his bag yesterday. I saw it in his bag this morning. Okay, I'll continue this afterwards. So I want to talk about some more about this. I had to send that permission slip to my son's teacher. He forgot it here. So really, we have to be our own advocates. And in order to be our own advocates, and in order to even manifest the life that we want, we have to know what our strengths are, and how everything is so divinely connected and intertwined, because this is so connected to what I was talking about yesterday about every night going to sleep. I put up on the wall, every night going to sleep, and you ask yourself questions, and you put those questions into your subconscious before you go to sleep, and then you are actually reprogramming your mind to look for ways to expand your life. So the questions are, who am I? What do I want? What is my purpose? What do I want to contribute? What kind of friendships do I want to have? What kind of unique skills and habits do I have? So those are the questions. I have them up on my wall over there, along with the other confirmations. I am so happy and grateful now that I have multiple sources of income. I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities from multiple sources. And I love that, because I can see how that is accurate for me in my life. And the more I say it, the more accurate it becomes, and the more I see it. And so it all connects back to being your own advocate. If you want to create the life that you want, you have to know yourself intimately. And in order to know yourself intimately, you have to also know all of your good, strong points and bring them forth into the world. and allow yourself to openly say them. First, allow yourself to even see them and admit them to yourself without putting all the baggage on top of, no, I'm unworthy. Yes, I have this, but without the but. You don't need the but. Well, we create our realities through our speech. What we say has power. Um, what we say, and this is something that also from the comments that I got, what we say is like magic. It is the simplest form of manifestation. It is bringing a thought into the 3D world as a vibration, as a word, as a vibration. So our words create our realities. And if we watch our words first, especially what we say about ourselves, because we are the presenters of ourselves to the world. If not us, then who? We tell the world how to act to us, how to interact with us. So we say how much we're worth, what we're willing to take, what we're not willing to take. A lot of this is in my alcohol book. It's called Inside the Mind of an Alcoholic. I'll put a link to it. I'm going to start putting a link to my alcohol book in every video that I do. I'm going to put it in there. Like I have this this block text that I put, and I'm going to add that in there. So it'll be all the time a link to the book that I wrote. And see, being my own self-advocate, because I do truly believe that the book that I wrote will be helpful to people that are looking for help. And it also is a vibrational match to me. It's my language. It's my message to the world. It's what is my purpose? What do I want to contribute to the world? So, and that's just part of what I want to contribute to the world. So if you want to know what you want to contribute to the world, first you have to know where your talents lie, what your purpose is, what you're good at, what you have to give to the world. And the only way to do that is to really look deep and to find all these places. And it's also a practice in self-love, because in order to see your worth, you have to love yourself. And so that is something that you can really increase your own self-love and higher your vibration through simply going inward and saying, okay, what am I good at? And telling it to yourself in front of the mirror. Like sometimes it's just fake it till you make it. Like when I was coming out of my alcoholism, when I first quit, I was a shambles, and I was going to this therapist, and she told me, why don't you stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself that you love you, or tell yourself good things to yourself? And it felt so corny and like, oh, I can't do that. And I told her I can't do it. But I realized afterwards, I did when I was at the end of my alcoholism, I would stand in front of the mirror and tell myself how stupid I am. And I tell myself that I hate myself. I remember doing that. I remember standing in front of the mirror, just disgusted with myself and telling myself horrible things to myself in the mirror while I'm crying. And you can reprogram your mind. There's also a way of fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it. But really being easy with yourself and sitting down and really telling yourself the truth about yourself and being your own advocate. At first you just have to be willing to say it to yourself, and then you can start saying it outward. You can come up with a sentence that feels comfortable. Yeah, I'm good at doing this or that. And practice it, and you'll see how easy it goes over. And when you say it from a genuine place, it's not a show-off, conceited place. People can tell the difference because there's a different vibe to it. When you're just being honest and you're saying, I'm good at this. Yeah, just like I was saying yesterday, I'm good at putting big, high concepts into words that are simple words that other people can understand and connect to. I'm good at that. I'm good at that because I can get outside of my ego. I can be the experiencer and the observer at the same time. Or I can be the experiencer and then the observer. So I have a talent. That's a talent. Being able to the gift of gab, being able to take high concepts and bring them into words. And I'm saying it outright. And it's not in a conceited way. It's in a way of knowing myself. And the minute I know my strengths, then my strengths become my superpower. And then I can use them to create the life that I want, that is in sync with me and in sync with my natural born talents. So we each need to be our own advocate. And in this world, what to do, we have this body. It's a physical body. It's a physical form. As much as, I like being up in the sky and up in the ethers, call them whatever you want. But as much as I love being up in the ethers, I still have this body that needs to be fed in the end. And if I am producing something that I believe in and something that I feel has a place in the world, it's an expression of me, then there is no embarrassment in being an advocate for that and putting that out there and saying, hey, look, this is something that I'm giving to the world, and to receive back for a monetary equivalent or monetary value is not with the way that I grew up, in scarcity mindset. You don't ask for money. It's like, nobody has money. It's embarrassing. But that's not true. And the truth is that when people want something and they want something of value, they are willing to pay for it, and they want to pay for it. If they get it for free, completely for free, then it loses and diminishes its value. When you pay for something, you feel like you're getting something of value. So those are my thoughts on that, on being my own self-advocate. And I'm working on that, and that is coming right up alongside this self-love thing that I'm working on now, that the completely feeling self-love and in this place of standing in my wholeness and standing in my center, and being in the magnetic field, being the center of my universe in the magnetic field. So drawing towards me and allowing to go out from me, like creating this flow and not being dependent on anybody else's flow, because that just interferes with their magnetic field. And besides, I have a very strong magnetic field, so I can, and just like each of you has, and each of you can connect to your own magnetic field. Sometimes we need the strength of others to find the way, but then once we find the way, then we have our own magnetic field that we have to play with. It's God-given. It's our birthright. It's really our birthright, and not in a way of give me, it's my right. In a way that that's just part of your being. It's part of what you were born with and who you are. So it's all part of this. So be your own self-advocate. Be for yourself. Be gentle with yourself. Allow yourself to tell the world who you are in a positive way. Be willing to say the good things about yourself, because you are the person that knows yourself the most intimately. And if you're sitting around waiting for somebody else to tell the world what a good person you are, you may be waiting an awful long time, because everybody has their own self-work, and everybody's job is to bring their own selves out into the world and tell the world. And really, you're the only one that can, because you're the only one that's in there that has been through this intricate life and know exactly who you are and what experiences you've had and what you have to give to the world. It's all self-love. It's all self-love. When you love yourself, you find those places and they will be obvious to you. So I'm sending you lots of love and gratitude to myself as well. And I'm happy that I'm doing these videos, because these videos are really helping me also to understand these things and to bring them forward. So really, I feel like on this episode of the Twin Flame Journey, I'm really actually pulling the energy back to myself. Now, I know that there's glitches along the way, and I know that there's I've had this morning a little bit of pain come up, and I've just kind of I'm in this energetic place of creation, and I want to put all of my time and effort into that. And what I've realized also on the Twin Flame Journey is that I can't force it. Everything has its own time and its own place and its own way of working its things out. And a lot of twin flames never have union. So if I'm sitting around waiting for union, then I'm waiting for something that might never be. And then in the meantime, my life is going by. And I've also noticed that the more I chase, the more elusive it becomes. It just like disintegrates. It's like trying to grab a hold of the air, trying to grab a hold of water. It goes through your fingers. You can't. it's a magnetizing thing. And the only way that I will magnetize somebody that is at the level that I want them to be is for me to be at that vibrational level. So my work is to know what I want, send it out into the world. The video that I did before this morning on this morning is about magnetizing through the magnetic field, through this quantum field. So you can watch that, and that's interesting. I actually really, that was totally channeled. I love that. And so I feel like this morning that my job is my own self-love. When I love myself in a way that is complete and whole, I will magnetize into my life a partner, a life partner that is complete and whole. And I can actually be happy that I haven't magnetized in my partner yet, because then we would meet at this level. And I want to get myself to a much higher level so that my existence is in a much higher vibration, so that my mate will come in at that high level, and then we can live at that high level. If a mate comes in at this level, we will just keep feeding the same level back to each other. So I need to work on myself, bring myself into a place where I am providing for myself completely and wholly, and I'm in a creative, loving mode towards myself, towards the universe, towards my whatever I do, in a playful place, because I see myself, I love antiquities, and I love traveling, and I love camping, and I love doing all these things that I'm not doing now. I love having a car that's fixed and runs good, and that I don't have to worry about it breaking down. So see, there's conflicting. I love my life, and I want to be in a place where I'm always in consistent love with my life, and then from there magnetize in the life partner that I want, and in a loving relationship, a whole relationship, where we enjoy the same things and we do the same things together, and that loves me and is compassionate and understanding and accepting and tender and complimentary and all of these things. Yeah, they're in duality, right? It's me towards him and him towards me, in this spiraling upwards into heaven on earth, kind of, where we magnetize and fulfill each other, fill each other with the like life energy and sexuality. I miss sexuality, but right now I'm taking all that energy and I'm putting it into creation, my creation mode. And there is no point in chasing. There is no point in chasing. If there's anything that I'm noticing, it's that the more I chase, the more elusive it becomes. And besides, what am I chasing? I'm chasing something that is not whole. Chasing something, what's there? There isn't that wholeness that I want. I want wholeness. I want touch. I want full and loving hugs. I want kisses on my neck. I want to be comforted. I want to be held. I want to be understood. I want, there's so many things. That was this morning when I was sitting and I was in gratitude for everything that I am and everything that I have, and for this creation all around me, and how magnificent everything is, and being part of nature, and for my understanding of everything, and for all of my talents, and for everything that I do have. And from that place, everything seems, it's everything is okay, just where I am. And with gratitude, creating through gratitude is inspiring. Okay, so I'm going to get busy on this day. So thank you for watching.